Hello, hello. PB is basically upon us, and before I actually go and hop into that, I want to talk a little bit about my impressions, hopes, dreams, expectations about Set 15. You might be asking like, why does it matter what I think or do not think? And I guess the only uh, thing that might be worth mentioning is that I've been playing since the beginning, and I've been playing a lot. The results, let's not talk about the successes or the lack of successes that I've had, but I have been, playing a lot. I've been at some point or another, I guess, challenger in most of the sets, but like not every set, and obviously you decay even if you were at some point, but never really like a top player or anything. But yeah, I've had some hours of TFT in my life over the years. Anyway, so as you can already see, I'm like I'm not gonna go through and like read all the stuff. Probably everyone has read them already, but you can already see at the first glance that the visuals are quite exciting, quite interesting, and they really put extra effort into that. At least, I mean, it's not like they are not putting effort into all the other sets or that they weren't, but looks definitely exciting. And keep in mind, like I'm not gonna talk about like the actual gameplay that we've seen. I've seen a little bit of it, but anyway, I mean everyone's gonna jump on PB and play a lot, so that part will be seen quite soon. And also there were the show matches and all the streamers that got earlier access to it. So at this point already, there's a bunch of footage that is available. So yeah, visual exciting, wonderful. Obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of time, just like every time. It's gonna take maybe a little bit of time for me to get used to, just visually recognizing all the other champions. But obviously, there are quite a few that are like already familiar from previous instances. Obviously, the crew like should basically be recognizable from like way back. And obviously, we've been so long into the DFT with like the 15th set bonus that obviously there's only so many combinations that you not even that you can do like you that you want to do, right? And then if it fits the team, then they're gonna roll with that. Like I'm not gonna necessarily go into specifics, but obviously as you roll through, there are like some, just like visually speaking, there are quite a few arts that are like already familiar, especially like if you're pulling from the skin line for the most part, or skins that you already have. For example, I don't know if I guess this is a skin. I don't know. I not that in touch with league skins lately, so I mean I know that it's in the cinematic, and maybe there's an old mania, so I'm not sure there's a skin. I mean I could check, but it's not really the point. But yeah, like from the uh, cinematic familiar. But yeah, for the abilities, they look pretty exciting. It's like there's a bunch of different layers to all the abilities, and then there's also the power up mechanic that will also make those interesting abilities interact in like possibly different ways, which will most likely mean that balancing is gonna be an absolute nightmare. And yeah, I am, if you're talking about expectations, I am expecting a lot of complaints all throughout the set about balance. but at the same time, and I think that's the angle that we are going for overall, that people have so much fun that maybe they are not they don't have as much inclination to complain. And maybe that's like quite naive, or maybe that's a fool's hope, but feels like there's just so many new things, augments, and abilities, power ups, the hero specific augments and things, and the all the combinations that are possible. That one, it will be crazy replayability. If like if you, if you want to experience something specific, you might have to play many games to actually get there. So that means there's also obviously motivation to queue up for the next game. Mm, but at the same time, yeah, it's gonna be rough to balance all of that, and maybe there is not even really the expectation for everything to be like super balanced. So yeah, well, I wanna talk a little bit about the competitive angle, at least my competitive aspirations. Let's call it that. But first, I wanna just say a few words about the traits, right? Like there's like one half, there's like a basically standard like strategist, sorcerer, sniper, protector, prodigy. I mean, obviously, prodigy has like its mana region. Like obviously, we've had mana region. Like this is like scholar, I think, basically. Which is like is the top is also the healing the ally for damage dealt. Obviously, juggernaut, heavyweight. Like there's like only so many ways that you can combine those stats and stat bonuses. I mean, you can like put a little bit of flair on it here and there, but I think they're overall just solid options for them to pick. Like obviously Bastion, Dual, Essential. It's like nothing much is here that's like, ooh, this is so new. Which I don't think that's a problem at all. I think this is great, and obviously like the more creative part is like these things here, where you can go ham and just pull everything together thematically for the whole tournament vibe, tournament arc thing. And these look also quite exciting. Like the twist on the mentor, for example, right? Like it's compared to it's on the tip of my tongue, but the emissary, emissary, like Abessa, Garen, Tristan, and Nami. Like you either have one or you either have four. But obviously that also goes back to the ninja. Like you either have one, and then you get the bonus, or you have all four, and then you get the bonus. I guess this is like more in line with that part with the other allies game. I'm not okay. I mean that I've played, but that doesn't mean that my memory is perfect about it. But yeah, but it's definitely different from emissary. Other allies gain nothing, so that's interesting. Then there's also the upgrade abilities. Like obviously, it's a lot more exciting here. So it goes in line with all the other craziness that we have here. I mean, I do like I don't want to just go through everything because everyone's done that. I've obviously already done that myself, reading about it. But yeah, I'm honestly talking about vibes more like that. I'm excited to play it. I'm more excited than I've been in a while, just because there's like so much of a shake-up, generally speaking, with augments and like the whole insanity that we have. And obviously, like, well, after we've played, like, we got in some games, we get used to it, and then obviously like the sense of wonder and freshness, that's gonna like dial down a little bit. But I still think that it's gonna last for quite long compared to potentially previous sets in some cases. Like at this point, I am quite excited to hop in, and then like the whole point of me recording it now is that I can I can say in like 2 weeks when it hits launch, or like maybe in a month, when we are in like two weeks into live, that I regret everything and I hate everything and everything is imbalanced and I hate the game and I don't want to play. That is, it's like it has a non-zero possibility, but I don't at this point in time I don't think so. And yeah, the thing that the thing that I really wanted to like talk about a bit, and maybe it didn't even need this 11-minute preamble to lead up to that, is that if you know me in DFT, which you probably don't, I don't think anyone really does. It is what it is. But I am, and I think I probably always have been, like very very risk averse if I'm playing games TFT games in general. I'm very risk averse when there is something at stake, right? So like if I'm playing for fun, obviously I'm gonna do whatever. But if it's like ranked for like some tournament qualification or tournament game or stuff like that, I have been uh always hoping and angling for the most like standard boring, uh everyone gets everyone gets X amount of gold and exactly that, and everyone gets like X amount of components, like no deviation, no differences, no high roll, low roll possibilities. Just go for the option that is the most consistent. But that only really makes sense if I think that I am so good at my fundamentals that I can and will uh, come out ahead in a game where like everyone is like equal and like no high roll, low roll. Everyone is just playing the same game, and that is just not true. That it it probably has not been true for quite some time. I'm talking obviously multiple sets, and I'm not even sure if it was ever really true, which is probably a big problem because if I am hoping for and I am preparing for a game where I am not, like if I am not the best, or I'm not at the top in my game. By my game I mean like my like that say play style of or way of preferring to play the game. If I'm not like good at that, then why am I not going for the higher variance stuff? Or more like, it's not even that I'm not going for it, but I am scared of it, or I have been scared of it, of having extra resources and then not being able to uh, get the most out of them. So like over the years, I think at this point you could say years, there is like a false false narrative in my mind that if I could just get the full standard game every game, I would be good, and I would be going up and up and up. And if and like that, I've been basically, even without like being conscious about it. Like it's not like I'm blaming the game in a conscious sense. I mean, obviously, I've been doing that a while back, and I think I haven't been doing it as much lately. At least that's the hope. But even unconsciously, the the thing is, I have been yeah I have been thinking without wanting to think that if only I didn't get uh this augment or that champ or that shop, or maybe someone else didn't get it. It's not like if I didn't get it and I complain that I got it, but it's more like I for some reason that is just not in line with reality. I'm thinking that if I just didn't get the outliers, then I would be good. But I that is just not the case. And the whole reason, and I don't think I really explained myself well, but the whole reason I'm really thinking about this in this specific moment, like right before set 15, because now it is very very obvious and very apparent for me that with how many crazy things are, it's just an impossibility to keep this line of thinking or keep this way of playing. But obviously, that doesn't mean that the fundamentals don't matter, because in some ways, they matter even more. Because like there are the things that are in my hand, and those are basically the fundamentals, right? My in my hand, and there are the things that are not, like where I have to roll with the punches, and that is the part that I've been probably the weakest uh, at rolling with the punches in the game. And obviously, like the more I dislike those kind of types of games when everything is crazy, the more I try to avoid them, and the more I try to avoid them, the less I get. So the less capable I actually get of navigating them, and there's just a downward spiral, because I never get over my own limitations, and never get good. And like, even if like getting low challenger is fine, but then pushing up from there, that has been an issue for quite some time now. Because there are so many things that you can get away with if you just have the time to play like a certain amount of games. Like I can be very bad at many things, but if I just play enough games, I can still just get to a certain rank by like basically brute forcing it, which in turn also leads even more into losing even more of the quote unquote skills that I've had. And like you could you this all sounds kind of pessimistic, or as if I am just putting myself down for no reason. But like, one, obviously, that is the reason. Like, this is the reason that I've been saying. But also, this is I'm all taking this. I'm talking about this in like a good way, or in a positive sense, right? Because if you were never really that good, that just means that you can go so much higher in obviously like an ideal scenario. And there's just at this point like many years of bad bad patterns and bad game game sense or game execution that is ingrained in some ways. Like, like you start playing the game and then you start playing it in a certain way, and then it's just the whole habits, basically. Like the more times you do something a certain way, then the next time when you get to the same position, same situation, the easier it's gonna be to default to the original pattern that you had. And like obviously the further along you go in time, then the more the harder it gets to see how it originally came to you how you originally came to uh, using that pattern, or validating that pattern over and over again. Yeah, I ended up just saying the same thing uh many times in a little different ways, but yeah, I really wanted to think about like I said, aspirations, competitively speaking. But thing is, it's been so long when I actually had any sort of like real shot at the competition, that I've kind of even lost the feel for it, or in some ways I can't really even imagine what my set would look like from a competitive angle, because it's usually just it goes live and then I go and then I queue up and I queue up again, I queue up again, and then we get somewhere. But obviously, and it's not like this is a new discovery or anything, but like improve like actually getting better at the game is so much more than just queuing games over and over again. Because if I'm like making the same mistakes, and worse, maybe I'm not even recognizing that they are mistakes anymore. I'm just thinking, oh, like this is just the way you play the game, because that's the way I have been playing the game, even if that is not true. So yeah, for me it is hard to see what was a mistake and what was just choosing a path that led to a bad end, to a bad conclusion, but wasn't necessarily a bad decision in itself. And this is like hard to do in a vacuum, right? Because if I only have what is in my head, then even if I'm doing it wrong, I might not be uh, able to even uh, recognize that I am doing it wrong. Anyways, point is, I might just put a timestamp and you just go to the last few seconds, and that was basically the video. But I am hopeful and I am optimistic about the set. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. Power ups, augments, champion abilities, and all the combinations that they can have. There's a big huge shakeup. Augments went away. Augments came. Thematically looks pretty cohesive visually. Also looks great. Gotta take like a little bit of time to get used to the units, just like recognizing them in the shop. But I guess we have Team Builder now, so I mean we have been using Team Builder for a while now. But yeah, it's just gonna get used to it in PBE. And yeah, like I said, competitive angle is just getting a lot better than I've ever been. And uh we'll see. generally it's not really like just a game thing. It's more like a everything thing that usually if I start something new, or if I like that that could be anything, right? At first, like I get into it relatively quickly, and I have like a, you know, sort of familiarity with it uh relatively quickly. And and it's basically okay, this is pretty good for a start. And then I stay there. And then I keep doing the thing, and I might be doing the thing for, years upon years, and I stay there. I don't improve much. And yeah, obviously that is a that is a lot larger problem in some other areas of life. But in this case, it's also a problem in TFT, which uh, is the main focus of this recording, for example. So yeah, it is what it is, but it doesn't have to be. So we shall see how it is actually gonna uh, turn out soon-ish. There are other things that I also wanna kind of do. I'm not talking about big things. I'm just talking about Torchlight. Torchlight Infinite also starts the season now, like tomorrow or the day after, I guess, depending on time zone. So that starts quite soon. The PB is already up, probably, maybe. Someone said that the PB might be already up, but maybe that's wrong. But it will be up soon anyway. And then there's also like PoE. I still wanna play a bit of PoE as well, even though I'm like done with challenges and whatnot for a while now. But and then obviously there is everything else aside from games. So the plan is just gonna be doing a bit of chill PvE, some games here and there, but not gonna like go insane on it, because I can go insane on live servers anyway when set 15 hits. All right. I apologize for being so long-winded again. I I I I do, like, I see some sort of value in me getting to certain things in a way that I do, like this long-winded rambling, scrambling for my thoughts fashion. But at the same time, that is probably not the right approach for putting up a video on YouTube. So the right thing probably would be to have this, look through it, and then pull all the points together, and then make an actual much shorter video with like a few points here and there. And maybe eventually, not with this in particular, but at some point with something else, I will probably do it like that. But at this point, I am too deep in, and it's been again 30 minutes, and I'm just gonna throw it up there, and maybe at some point someone gonna stumble upon it, and then they're gonna be like, okay, what is this? Why do I care about 30 minutes of nothing? And they're gonna downvote and move on. Maybe leave a mean comment. And that is fine. That is absolutely fine. But I do recognize that this is not really uh, a path that I should keep going forward on. Putting up this huge, massive blocks of yap, and we're over half an hour. See, this is why people write scripts or whatnot, or at least some bullet points. But the thing is, I never really know what I want to say until I start saying it, and then the rambling begins, and then I just say even things that I might not necessarily mean, or it's not even that I don't mean it. I just don't mean it in that way that I am saying it. Yeah, it's hard to start talking, but once I start talking, it never stops. It never ends. But yeah, I don't even know what title I'm gonna give it to this stream of consciousness or something. Anyway, I'm just gonna go play PB, and then we'll see how it actually be like. All right, I am out of here. What what is this? What even is this? In 30 minutes, I could have just gone through every single thing, all the champions, all the traits, everything. I could have just read everything, and it still would have been shorter than this one. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stop now. Bye.